Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another Piano Tech Radio Hour. Good to see you all. I can see some of you are still just connecting to audio. So we will take it slow here, getting started, making sure you can hear what's going on and see what's going on. Just take a few minutes to let the peanut gallery roll in here today. I see Carl Lieberman yet again. Welcome back, my good friend Carl. You seem to have, I don't know if this was the case the last time I saw you, and I do as well, have a haircut. Did you get a haircut? Man, he's you were muted. You said something, but
Ricky Close cut my hair at the convention.
Wow,
He does it
interesting.
every year, whether I need it or not.
Really? Is that it? But is this only for you, or does she kind of open up
Only
the
for me.
salon?
And we're going to turn it into a class next year because there's such a clamor to be there.
Okay, nice. And the class is how to cut Carl Lieberman's hair?
It's just a spectator sport. It's just
It's just a spectator. Just watch it unfold. Sell tickets, take bets, stuff like that.
She cut my hair at SCRC, and it's on YouTube. If you just Google Carl Lieberman Axl Rose, I told my Axl Rose story while she was cutting my hair.
All right. Well, that sounds like prime YouTube watching. Google Carl Lieberman Axl Rose. That's really awesome. And it gives you a reason, I guess, to cut your hair. But you've gone anti-hippie on me there, Carl.
Well, happy wife, happy life.
There you go. Does she like it shorter? Your wife likes it shorter?
Definitely.
Got it. I know they sometimes they're not a fan of the whiskers. Mine is not a fan of the facial hair. My son also, my 4-year-old, he's like, Papa, just back off, dude. You're too prickly, But all right, cool. Well, it looks like everybody shuffled in here. Good to see everyone. Good to have you back. Something interesting on the calendar for today, a bit of a throwback, which I think you'll enjoy. And I think it will bring you all that much more appreciation for the present moment. But before we get started with that, and as I let a couple other people in, I'll do our official intro, tell you about something exciting coming up, give you a little preview of what's coming in next week. Let's get it rolling officially. So welcome to Piano Tech Radio Hour. We gather here every Saturday to meet with and learn from the most fascinating and knowledgeable folks in the piano world. And that includes at times manufacturers, rebuilders, musicians, makers of other instruments, and of course, always piano techs. Our mutual goal is to become better at our craft, helping each other, and to create an ever more musical world together. Piano Tech Radio Hour is brought to you by Piano Technicians Masterclasses, an online learning resource that brings you cutting-edge instruction from piano industry masters without leaving your home. And you can find out more on www.pianotechniciansmasterclass.com. I see we have a few more people rolling in here. It's good to have a nice turnout. I'm actually foreshadowing next weekend. We'll see. We might be a little thin. I think it's Labor Day, right? But today it looks like we've got a good turnout. Good to see everybody rolling in. All right. So I'm going to cut to an intro here of a masterclass that's coming up. And we sent an email about this out, I think just yesterday. But I'll give you the lowdown in the skinny here for you guys that haven't heard about it. I'm pretty excited. So mark your calendars. It's that time again. Our next masterclass session is on the books. And you would mark your calendar for October 1st, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern time. We're bringing a fresh new instructor on board who's got a lot of deep knowledge to share. He's been incredibly successful at scaling up his own piano career over the years, and he wants to help you figure out how to be your own best self too. Thus, our topic for this session will be scaling up, pun intended, your piano career. There'll be a final title TBA, but definitely like the idea of scaling up. I'll give you a little more detail. So we're pulling together the format for Joe's class. And this is Joe Jackson, who was actually a guest on Radio Hour, maybe a month ago or so. And as we speak about the concept, we're considering some unique formats. Now, one possibility here is to include a handful of special students in this session that get special attention from Joe, so he can address some of the very specific issues that they are facing. Give me one moment. We got a couple more people to let in here. And so, yeah, we're talking like even getting in touch with those people before the session, right? And asking them, what are your questions? What are your kind of struggles? What are your plans for the future, and how can we help? So Joe, if you didn't attend the session, you might not have heard his story. He started as simply as any of us in the piano industry, but over the years, he has grown what he does into an incredible practice with many facets and multiple employees. I say multiple because I'm not sure the exact count, but from memory, I think he's got at least 8 to 10 employees. And it's focused in serving St. Louis, Missouri, but its influence also spreads far and wide. I've heard of him delivering pianos to Canada, I think, and back. And he goes all over, a little bit more west than east in terms of where he's spreading out, but goes quite far and wide with what he does, and has built quite a strong role in his community. So we've discussed with Joe what it means to scale up a piano career. And just so you know, it doesn't mean you have to do exactly what Joe does. It means you have to think carefully about what you want out of your life and career. Think intentionally and just make the right moves, or make moves in the right direction, right? So whether you could be that tuner that wants to become an expensive, solo, high-end rebuilding specialist one day, or someone who wants to, like Joe, have a bunch of employees working a well-oiled machine, Joe thinks you could make that dream come true. So if you're interested in this, we have an interesting offer. If you'd like some focused, customized mentoring from Joe, we have a form you can fill out to apply to be one of these special students for this class. Any age and experience level would be welcome. Preference in selection for multiple applicants will be given to veteran PTM subscribers. So if you've been with us from the way back, or the artisan PTM subscribers, like the higher level subscribers, but anyone can apply and anyone could possibly be chosen for this. So I'm going to put the form into the chat here, and you're welcome to go visit that and now or later and kind of fill it in and see what you got. I'm going to let in someone else here to the show. Todd Harris, welcome, sir. Okay, and let me see if I have anything else on that. So just to give some clarity there, we'll review the submissions with Joe. We'll pick like 3 to 5 students, probably maximum. They'll receive deeply discounted or potentially free, depending on their existing membership level, access to this particular class. And again, we'd probably contact them, running up to it, and have a little bit of attention beforehand, just to engage with them and what they're working on. So they'd have those access also to the live and recorded version. So, just for participating and being a strong part of the project, we want to gift that back. The class will be free to attend live for all existing PTM subscribers. So that includes apprentice, craftsman, and artisan. Prior to August 26th, yesterday, 2022, when we made the announcement. We want to reward those people who have been hanging out with us and hanging on. We know people have been waiting for what's the next thing on the books, and we appreciate your patience. So what will differentiate the different subscribers, though, if there's higher level subscribers, they'll get added perks. So an example would be a craftsman or artisan level would have immediate access to the recording right after we're done doing the live session. Apprentice level would have to wait several months. We're going to put those recordings out on a delayed release. So you would have access to it, just kind of have some patience, and it would be on the calendar for, we have a kind of a backlog of recordings that get released every month. So yeah, that's the lowdown on that. And if you saw the email that I sent out about that, or you want to look for that in your inbox, and you reply, "I'm intrigued," to that email, you can be the first to receive an early bird discount code for the class when we launch the page to sign up. So I'm excited about that, and hope to see some people getting involved. Joe, very impressive what he's been able to build, and a really cool guy. Beyond that, another little announcement to give just about next week's class. Next week's class, we're going to have a piano teacher. It will be a sort of pseudo pre-recorded session. So I'm actually going to record that this week because my friend in New York, Andrew Inkovet, who I'm going to interview, he couldn't make the Saturday session because I guess, I don't know, he's a piano teacher. Saturdays maybe are pretty busy for him. So he and I are going to record an interview this week, and then we'll rebroadcast that next Saturday. And, you know how I like to mix it up a little bit. So we're going to interview him about his process as a piano teacher. And again, he's grown, into several facets of being a piano teacher. He's actually been one of my clients for several years in New York City. He went from using me as a tuner to other like tuners that I had in my team as a tuner, and just kind of like he likes the apprentice program that we use out there in New York, and kind of continues to use our tuners. But at the same time, he has grown his own piano teaching business and created some materials. He calls the music color method, kind of taking that approach of like, I'm a piano teacher, but I'm also an entrepreneur. He brings other people on to teach within his school. He has this particular method that he has them use. Actually, a new piano technician on my team, Adam Holmes, who I've mentioned before, used to work with Andrew as a piano teacher. So I think it'll be really interesting and enlightening. What I'm going to try to focus on with him is just a bit about his angle on the piano industry. What's it like to be that guy running a piano teaching operation, several types of students. What does he think about pianos and purchasing pianos, recommending pianos, linking up his clients with piano tuners and technicians, or to buy a piano? How is he networking with different piano technicians in the area? So, for example, like he knows me, and he might work with me for tunings and several other endeavors, and he might work with someone else to help buy pianos and stuff like that. So I think it'll be an interesting session to get that music teacher's perspective. So that's what's coming up next week. And then with just a little bit more ado, I was going to say without further ado, I think we'll run in a second. What I've got queued up for today is a bit nostalgic for me, but it's also very educational, I think. And if you're stimulated by what I'm showing in today's session, you've got an opportunity to, for free, just go review a lot more cool stuff like it. And so that's really cool. So I think it was April 4th, 2020 that we did this online piano tech conference, really for the first time ever. And I think we had up to like 500 participants literally all over the globe tuning in. We have people like South Africa in the middle of the night, stuff like that. And of course, this is like I said, this is going to make you appreciate the present day. I mean, we're still watching out for monkeypox and stuff like that, but the tension in the air, people were fearing for their lives, literally their career, and so on and so forth. And, I was really impressed. Carl participated, as well, and as some other really great techs in the industry. Just a lot of really impressive folks came together to support the industry and provide some education and some support. So what I've chosen the segment to show today is the segment where we talk about college and university technicians, and so we're blessed to have Mario Egrek in on the session, who's the piano technician at Juilliard, and, of course, wrote the book Pianos Inside Out, and also has done some other really great stuff, being a COT in Louisiana, in New Orleans, I believe. So and then we're going to also, in that session, also integrates a couple other technicians that are at Berklee, as well as Ken Eshte, I think, jumps in a little bit to the conversation. And, Mario's delivering, he's bringing in some visuals for some presentations and stuff like that, even though we pulled it together last minute. So really great session. And again, if you're inspired by that, there's a video that we've left public. I think it's got like 1,500 views at this point, where you can review really a lot of other great content for free. So so I think we're going to go to that. But before that, if anybody have any updates or questions or things they wanted to put to the conversation today, speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, excellent. So I'll cue that up right now, and I'll roll it, and then I'll come in. We'll have about maybe 40 minutes of that, or maybe slightly more. I'll come back in the end, check in. and see if there's any, questions or comments. I'll read us out. And also, like, feel free to chit chat in the chat here as the video rolls, in case there's any interesting topics. If there are questions or conversation topics that come up in the chat, we can cut out early from the recording and kind of chat about what's going on. All right, great. So now officially, without further ado, I will bring that up. And actually, let's see here. We're gonna, for those folks watching on YouTube and Facebook, we are going to sign off those platforms momentarily, and but we will put a note in the chat on those platforms, so that if you do want to come in and join us for the rest of the session, you have a way to access that. And so I'll make sure that that gets put in the chat now. And let's see here. Right there. All right. And then we will sign off Facebook and YouTube. See you later, hopefully sooner than later. And